New year, new prices. Yes, as expected, Rolex have increased their prices.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This annual change was bound to happen, but this year's price increases have caused more surprise to watch enthusiasts and turbulence in the secondary market than usual. Price changes are not limited to the watch industry. In fact, the whole luxury goods sector are impacted by the factors surrounding price increases. Brands like LV and Gucci have increased the RRP of their items, but specifically focusing on Rolex, the Swiss horological giants have massively risen their prices on certain models. So, in today's video, I'm going to identify and discuss where the main changes have occurred, whilst also providing potential reasons as to why prices have increased. But before I do so, if you can subscribe to the channel and like this video, that would be massively appreciated. And if you'd like to buy or sell your watch with us here at Time for Diamonds, be sure to check out the description where you can find a link to our website and our contact details. So let's start off by identifying the change. Importantly, price changes have been affected distinctively in different countries. Due to being based in London, the main focus will be highlighted on the differences in the UK.
Good morning, Glenn!
In the past 2 years, stainless steel models' prices have generously risen by 1 to 2%. This also being the case for platinum pieces. This has been reflected this year. For example, the Explorer 40 reference 224270 was retailing for £6,650. This year, it has now increased to £6,750. Analysing a more popular example, the Daytona Panda reference 126500LN. Last year, it was retailing for £13,500, whereas this year, it is retailing for £13,600. Platinum pieces have seen a similar increase in price. In fact, there is even a case of a platinum model's price not being affected, like the 1908 reference 52506. That remains at £26,800. Stainless steel and platinum models have barely increased in price. However, the big jump is apparent in gold models. For some context, from 2023 to 2024, gold models, and this does include white, rose and yellow, there was a jump in price of around 5% to 9%. However, this year, the jump is ranging from 7% all the way to 19%.
What?
Covering full gold models, two-tone options, even gold models that are paired with the Oyster Flex bracelet. Taking a two-tone sea dweller in steel and yellow gold, reference 126603. This model was retailed at £15,100. Now this model is retailing for £17,300, which is a 13% increase in price. The yellow gold Yachtmaster 42 with the Oyster Flex bracelet, reference 228658, saw an 11.1% increase, rising from £25,600 to £28,450. Lastly, a full yellow gold Daytona, reference 126508, soared in price by 19%, being retailed at £34,600 last year, now retailing for £41,200. In fact, all gold Daytona models are now retailing for over £40,000. Rose and white gold specifically are above £44,000. This is insane, as these were models that were retailing for around £35,000. As mentioned, stainless steel and platinum models have pretty much been unaffected by the price increases, but gold models' prices have been massively altered. Therefore, there are clear reasons as to why Rolex have done this. So, we have encapsulated numerous ideas which have led to Rolex's price changes. As cliche as it may sound, the first reason we have identified is inflation. Inflation is the main reason why prices are increasing. Unless you have been living under a rock, the whole world has been impacted by inflation. In a nutshell, there has been an in general increase of prices. Tying in with inflation is production costs. As general prices have increased, so will the cost, as businesses need to buy the items required to manufacture and produce their goods. What is interesting is the only models severely affected by the price increase are the gold models. This is because the market value of gold has increased massively over the past 5 years, by 80%, with the precious metals value rising by over 20% last year. Yes, Rolex are known for producing and manufacturing their own gold in their in-house foundry by adding different elements in order to separate their gold from the rest, yet they still have to buy the gold in its purest form, and Due to the increased value of gold, we can only imagine that it has affected Rolex's cost, meaning they have had to increase their retail price of gold watches. Ultimately, they are a business, so they have to see a margin of profit. But with price increases happening by such distance, has us questioning deeper. Luxury items and goods are seen as an investment, but not all luxury goods are profitable, so it is important to do research. Although certain Rolex models have a market value higher than their RRP, the majority of their watches are valued at around their retail mark or trading below list. Since the beginning of 2022, prices have fallen dramatically, causing what was known as the market crash, and they have continued to drop to this day. I won't go into the reasons as to why that happened. Instead, you can watch this video where I go into more detail. But how will the new increased retail prices affect the secondary market's prices? Old stock will not be affected, but the new incoming 2025 stock with their adjusted prices will increase their market value. As soon as we see more and more of this year's models come out, then we will see market values potentially increase. But that doesn't mean the fresh stock will go immediately above retail. They will more than likely match the retail price or still trade below list, similar to the current market trend. So increasing their watches so highly on gold pieces could mean that Rolex want these models to be worn rather than be sold or retained for investment purposes. Being the biggest watch brand is a title that Rolex have acquired for years, but horological enthusiasts believe they are not the best. Brands like Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet and Vacheron Constantin are viewed as greater than Rolex in a craft sense. Therefore, Rolex may have increased their prices higher than normal to excel the caliber of their brand. This is a tactic or strategy that luxury brands tend to use in order to compete or level with those who are above them. Of course, one question might be, why would Rolex do that if they are the biggest selling watch brand and the most popular in the world of horology? Perhaps Rolex already know this and still want to aim higher. Maybe they have something big planned. So, how will customers and dealers feel? Naturally, new prices distance customers, and it takes time for people to adapt and adjust. Yet that doesn't mean the demand will be lost for Rolex watches. In fact, the demand may rise due to the main problem stemming from the ability to build a relationship or rapport with the AD. To buy your dream watch from Rolex, there is a process involving a sequence of steps that everyone must follow. This includes firstly buying an entry-level piece like an Explorer or Air King, then you will be encouraged to buy a two-tone option, then finally a full gold piece, whether that is yellow, rose or white gold. After these steps, the authorized dealers finally consider a customer to be in line to get their dream watch. I mean, it sounds so simple, but this process takes years and years, involving waiting lists and high spending. Already, this is why people buy from secondary dealers. And with the new price increases, especially on gold models, people will find it more difficult to buy their dream watches because they will have to spend more than ever. Therefore, most customers will feel alienated from the authorized dealers, meaning there will be an increased number of consumers heading down the grey market route, making this an advantage for secondary market dealers. Ultimately, it is very early days as these price changes have just occurred, so it will be very interesting to see how things pan out. That is all for today's video. I hope you have found this one rather interesting. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video and turn on notifications so that you don't miss a video. Thanks for watching and I shall see you next time.